Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sativ, and today we're going to be breaking down Subtlety's damage so that you guys can understand exactly how all the damage is coming out, and how to maximize your damage while you're in a PvP scenario. The first thing that's a drastic change from Mist to Pandaria is Rupture now deals very significant damage. When you compare Rupture to an Eviscerate in a situation where you don't have Find Weakness or Procs up, a Rupture will deal literally 150% more damage than a single Eviscerate will. But in a situation where you have Find Weakness, Master of Subtlety, and your proc trinkets up, an Eviscerate definitely is much more devastating. All in all, I feel having Rupture up on your target while you're riding them or tunnel visioning them is definitely what you want to be doing, since the damage overall adds up very quickly, and the little bits of multi-strikes that you do end up getting will trigger an additional bleed tick through Sinister Calling. Let's take a moment to examine some of our perks before we dive into the rotation and breaking down the damage that we're dealing. Enhanced Shadow Dance increases the duration of Shadow Dance by 2 seconds, which is very welcome. Enhanced Stealth, you deal an additional 5% damage for 6 seconds after breaking Stealth. This is basically an improvement to Master of Subtlety, which was 10%, but with this perk becomes 15%. Enhanced Vanish reduces the cooldown of Vanish by 30 seconds, making it a 1.5-minute CD. And that's about all there is for perks. There isn't a whole heck of a lot of crazy ones for Subtlety. They're mostly just little passive enhancements to things that already exist. Right, so let's go ahead and examine this arena match. I was running World of Logs for this matchup, so that we can break down where the damage is coming from exactly, see just how much damage Rupture is dealing in comparison to other abilities, because I'm honestly curious to see how powerful Rupture really is. So I get kind of trolled a little bit at the start here, but I open up on the Monk, get a Rupture going, and I mark for death, trinket this stun, and death from above. The death from above hits for 94,000, which is pretty dang big. I go ahead and sit this Fear. My Druid puts a Cyclone on the Monk so that he can't be spam healed up. I literally just ignore the Shadow Priest. I shiv him to slow his movement speed, open up on the Monk, and finish him off with a 58k Eviscerate. Alright, so this is the arena match. This is all my damage throughout that match. You can see here that Eviscerate is pretty beefy. That 94,415 crit is pretty powerhouse. Melee is a quick second, dealing 269,000 damage compared to 300,000 from Eviscerates. And trailing quickly behind Melee is Rupture damage. So in this situation, Rupture did about 140,000 damage. I only had it on the Monk, and you guys seen I was just chasing the Monk. So that's some pretty significant damage. When you add it all up, in a situation like that, it was my third highest damage dealing ability. My ambushes were hitting big bad 19Ks, no crits there, and backstabs are hitting 5K. Even when you take a small segment of a fight, like 6 seconds here, we have 6 to 24 seconds is when I start my rotation, so that's a good 18-second encounter. Rupture, man. Rupture dealt 47k in this small span of time, where Eviscerate dealt 51k. So man, I feel having Rupture up at all times is extremely important now as Subtlety. Not for the bleed, but specifically for the damage, because the damage is very respectable and it should be utilized at all times possible. Well guys, there you have it. That is the breakdown of where Subtlety's damage is coming from in a PvP encounter. Now one thing I'm trying to figure out is, should I be opening and getting my 5-point Rupture up as soon as possible? Or should I be opening up, utilizing Find Weakness to get Eviscerates off with the Armor Ignore, and then use my next 5 combo points to get Rupture up from that point onward, since Rupture ignores armor as it is a damage over time effect. As things are wrapping up in the beta, I'm feeling much more confident and comfortable that things aren't going to change a whole heck of a lot, so in the next few weeks I'm going to be starting on the informational guides. I'm going to do a guide for each spec, seeing as each spec is in a very good spot right now, and they play differently, so they deserve their own videos. Alongside this, I'm going to do a video talking about our level 100 talents, how to utilize them effectively, and my favorite tips and tricks for using Shadow Reflection. But until next time, friends, I want you all to stay sneaky, And most importantly, I want you all to have a fantastic day.